At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal, and we had a few kind of little glitches this morning. But everything seems to be okay here. We got some of our regulars checking in this morning. We've got Debbie, and of course, Chappie Debbie, and of course, got Lisa Stevens checking in this morning as well. And it looks like we have got someone coming in from YouTube as well. So welcome. I want to thank everyone for joining us this morning. And just a programming note as we start off the show here this morning. I am so excited. Since I launched, what's going on here? Since I launched, that's kind of weird. I'll have to check that. But all right, we're kind of getting over that here. But since I launched Weather NorCal a year and a half ago, I am taking my first extended vacation. I haven't been away from Weather NorCal for longer than just a couple of days, and was able to kind of get everything going here. But thanks to my weekend meteorologist, Chase Wilson, and someone new. You're going to meet someone new tomorrow, as a matter of fact, on the weather team. Her name is Kelly Rawson, and she is going to be filling in as well. So you'll see two faces that will not be mine starting tomorrow. I'm still doing tomorrow morning. I'm not doing Coffee with Krueger tomorrow morning, but I will be doing the 6 o'clock in the morning update. Maybe the noon update, we'll see. But we're going to be traveling to Mexico starting tomorrow, my wife and I. And we're going to be gone through, we're coming back a week. Well, we're coming back next week, Wednesday, but getting home late. So I probably won't be doing the Thursday update next Thursday, but next Friday I'll be back. So I'm very excited about it. It's the first trip. I'm a little nervous, kind of stepping away from Weather NorCal for that long, but I feel very confident that Chase and Kelly will be able to make sure that everything goes smoothly and that we can all still enjoy getting the latest forecast from them. And then I will be back with your forecasts as we get back from vacation. But man, I tell you what, I'm so excited to just kind of decompress and not think about the weather day in, day out. Listen, I love it. I love what I do, but we all need a break. We all need a break to keep our sanity. We got Curtis checking in this morning as well. All right, well, what do you say we get to our Krueger's Quickcast? And of course, we got a Krueger's Quickcast for your Monday, December 30th. So let's get you right to it. Take a look at those current temperatures out there right now. A little chilly in Redding at about 35 degrees right now. We're sitting at about 40 in Red Bluff, 43 degrees in Oroville. It's cold in the mountains. Chester, about 23 degrees, 25 degrees for Alturas, and it looks like we got upper 30s, even some low 40s out along the coast this morning. Take a look at some of the rainfall totals. This is looking at the last 3 days. So you can see here, you know, this was expected. This is something I was talking about last week, and that is the bulk of the rain was going to be the north end of the valley and kind of the east side as well. And where do we see most of the rain? Was Redding, and that's no surprise. And then, of course, you saw less as you head to the south, a bit of a shadowing, if you will, for especially south of Red Bluff. But didn't really see a whole lot out towards Alturas and Susanville, just under a half an inch. But look at Crescent City, over 3 inches there, almost 3 inches in Hoopa, and almost 2.5 inches out in Eureka. So some impressive rainfall amounts yesterday. And for those of you that experienced the rain yesterday, boy, it was heavy, and kind of that steady, heavy rainfall at times in the Redding area yesterday afternoon as well. Do want to show you the latest river levels here. Now, I want to show you this because any flood warnings have all been allowed to expire. Excuse me. So we take a look at some of these yellow dots here. This is looking out at Klamath River near Klamath. You can see it's getting forecast to crest this morning at, well, it did at 6 a.m. We'll get out of that one. We're going to take you just to the north of Eureka, where we do have, let's see if we can get this going here. Sometimes it's a little, okay, there we go. Mad River near Arcata. 6 a.m. also, that's when it crested. And you can see here the one south of Eureka. This is, boy, just, come on, there we go. Cresting also at 6 a.m., staying below that flood stage. You'll also notice we do have some activity, some yellow dots there in Siskiyou County as well. So let's take a look at some of those and see what it looks like there. 6 a.m. expecting to crest. You can see that's 2 feet below the flood stage. And this is out at Klamath River near Syed Valley. It's actually going to stay eventually cresting at 6 a.m. below the flood stage. In fact, not even in the action stage. So we're staying well below that flood stage as well. Meanwhile, we take you to another yellow dot here indicating that we can see the Sacramento River Tehama Bridge. It looks like it is forecast to crest at 6 a.m. as well. And just bottom line, the rivers, the creeks, the streams, everything, it's all going to be receding today. That's just because we're not seeing any more rain and we're not really dealing with a whole lot of runoff. But speaking of runoff, this is courtesy of Chris and Candy. They're out at Brandy Creek yesterday. This is the picture they took and the shock on their face. This is a great picture. Just having a lot of fun here. So I want to thank Chris and Candy for sharing this picture of Brandy Creek behind them. And of course, maybe he's shocked he saw Bigfoot too. I don't know. Maybe that's what they were shocked about. But yeah, I mean, Brandy Creek looks like it was a roaring yesterday. There were a lot of areas around Northern California in general that saw the roaring waters from all of the rain that we've seen over the last week. And by the way, if you want to share a picture like that, you can send it through the free Weather NorCal app from your iPhone or your Android. By the way, for those of you that have Android phones and you've been having problems, the people that developed the app sent, it was last week, they sent an update. So for those of you with the latest software on the Android or have a new Android, it should work for you now. I know that there have been some issues with the latest software update for Android and it wasn't working properly, but now from what I understand, you shouldn't have those issues anymore. If you do continue to have issues, please email, let me know, and I'll of course continue to contact and connect with the app developers so they can make sure that that's not a problem anymore. But hopefully, again, this should be fixed. Out the door this morning, there's going to be some patchy fog out there, especially in a lot of the inland and mountain valleys, and cold, mid to upper 20s, 8 o'clock this morning, although in the valley, upper 30s. So what we have here, if you look at the satellite image, there's not a whole lot going on. There you can see, of course, we do have some activity here south of the Aleutian Islands in the Gulf of Alaska. That will eventually impact our weather later this week, but dry conditions for today. Look at that. We've got mainly sunny skies. Now, it looks like in the afternoon there may be some afternoon puffy clouds developing for the north coast, places in Del Norte, Humboldt counties, even Trinity and Siskiyou County. But otherwise, the rest of us looking at sunny skies throughout the day today. And then going into tonight, clear skies. Going into tomorrow morning, clear skies, although there could be some patchy fog again for the mountain and inland valleys. Still a few chain requirements out there this morning, mainly for big rigs east of I-5. That's to be expected. There are going to be a lot of slick spots out there, so just be aware of that if you are traveling on the mountains east of I-5. Taking a quick look at some of those road conditions out there. Looks pretty good. Even on Snowman Summit, looks like we are seeing dry roads. And doesn't look very icy, although for down your summit, yeah, looks a little icy up there. So please be aware of that. And you know, the thing is, a lot of these areas in the mountain highways, they don't see any sunshine all day long. And that's why sometimes the ice can stick around through a good portion of the day. There's a look at the north entrance of Lassen Park at 5,700 feet, almost 5,800 feet. Looks like it's pretty icy up there as well. So you need to, make sure that you're staying safe and driving slowly. Have the chains, pack them, have them ready. Cedar Pass. You can see it looks a little icy up there. There are chain requirements there as well. So yeah, I mean, it's just not looking so great on some of those mountain highways. But again, the road conditions are expected to improve as we take it through the afternoon and even into tomorrow. But again, keep in mind, still some slick spots out there. Temperatures today, despite the added sunshine, not warming up a whole lot. We're talking low to mid 50s in the valley, 30s and 40s for the higher elevations, and those low to mid 50s along the coast. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. And you can see dry today and tomorrow for the valley. For New Year's Day, well, it looks like we are going to see some rain, but I don't expect it to be a lot of rain. This is going to be a weak system. Most of the rain will be on the coast and some of the mountains. The valley will probably see less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall once all is said and done Wednesday. Break on Thursday, and then a better chance for measurable rainfall on Friday. But even the valley, still not seeing a ton of rain even with Friday's system. For now, I'm keeping it dry in the valley over the weekend, but look at the coast. Once we start to see the rain chances kick in on Wednesday, we have continued off and on chances for rain Thursday, Friday, and even through the weekend. But I'll say this about the weekend. For now, it looks very insignificant and probably won't amount to much. That's, by the way, also the case for the inland areas and for Trinity County. Now, for Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains. All right, so for Siskiyou County, You can see the chance for showers kicking in by Wednesday, with snow levels, by the way, fairly low, around 3,500 feet. And then off and on chances for showers here for Thursday through the weekend. As I mentioned, just like that of the coast, anything we do see over the weekend does not look significant at all. I think the main events will be Wednesday, and a bigger, slightly bigger event will be on Friday. That's when I expect most of the rain and most of that snow as well. All right, let's take a look at some of those cameras out there, taking a look at Lake Oroville. And it looks like we have the mainly clear skies out there this morning. Interesting. Of course, there you can take a look at the spillway out at Lake Oroville. Looks like fairly dry. There's a look at Lake Oroville North Forebay. And it looks like we are seeing, of course, just the calm winds, clear skies this morning. Turned out to be a pretty nice morning. There's a look at Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Taking a look at Highway 99 at Neal Road. Can we get a little motion in the camera? It looks like the camera's having a hard time loading up, but you get the idea. Looks like things are clear out there on the roadways. Let's take you out to Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of going on with the traffic there either. So there you go. Let's check in with some of you this morning and see how everybody's doing. We've got, well, let's just kind of get you some on the going on here. Here we go. We've got Curtis Brown saying good morning to everybody. I'm going to have some coffee while you read some of these comments. The first one to check in this morning was Chappie. Let's see what she has to say. She says, good morning. Ruth Sanchez saying good morning, everybody. Hope you enjoy your day. We've got Chrissy Bentley. Hey, okay, great. Chrissy, I was communicating with you yesterday on instant message. I'm glad to see you're back. I'm back on track with you live. Well, that's good. I'm hoping that the information I gave you was helpful, or maybe your daughter who put the app on your phone was able to help kind of take care of you as well. But you saying you're looking forward to weather conditions in Upper Shingletown. So yeah, it's probably a bit colder up there, but yeah, you're going to be looking at dry conditions at least. Looks like we've also got Delinda saying good morning all. 24 degrees in downtown MacArthur. 24 chilly degrees if you ask me. We got Catherine Schmidt saying 26 and clear in the Castle area. So thank you for that report, Catherine. We've got Mark Olson, some of our regulars here. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for the weather. How much rain have we had this year? Oh, man. I didn't check that yet. Well, you know, I could probably check Reading here real quickly. Let's see if we have that. Let's do the climate. Those of you just checking in, I got a question here from Mark. I haven't checked. I've been kind of focusing a bit on, let's see here, observed weather. There we go, for Reading. Let's just at least do Reading and how we're doing for the year. So, precipitation since October 1st. So the season starts October 1st of this year. We've seen at Reading 19.13 inches. The normal for the season up to this point is 11 inches. We are about 8 inches above normal for the season. Looking good. Now for the year, since January 1st of this year, 41.38 inches out at the Reading Airport. That is almost, that's about 8 to 9 inches above normal. Wow. We're doing okay for rain, folks. We're doing okay on that snowpack as well. We have yet to get our first official snowpack report, but there you go, Mark. Good question. I should have thought about that sooner, honestly, but I didn't. So there you go. We've also got Rowdy saying crystal clear and cold, 40 degrees in Fortuna. 40 to me is cold. I think anybody who lives in the mountains at 23 degrees would say, that's not cold. I guess it just depends on you and where you're from and what you're used to, right? And Ruth saying, I hope you have a fun trip in Mexico. It's a very beautiful part of the Arches where I went. Loved it there. I used to go there 6 months and come out. Oh, wow. Puerto Vallarta is where I went. Sorry. I'm trying to think of... where is Puerto Vallarta? So my wife and I were going to the Yucatan Peninsula. We're flying into Cancun, but honestly, we're not big like touristy spot people. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in Cancun per se, but we're heading south of Cancun. We're going into the peninsula, the jungle. We're going to check out some of the beaches, and of course the pyramids and the different structures, the historical structures, the cenotes, as you may or may not know. We're excited about the food, the different types of food that we'll be enjoying. So it's just going to be such a nice trip. And temperatures on average, I was looking at the forecast out there, they're going to be like upper 70s and low 80s. And it's going to be humid, it's going to be warm. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a fun trip. It's going to be a nice trip away from having just been so focused on Weather NorCal for so long. And I'm glad to do it. That's part of owning a business and starting up a business. But I've got some people that are very capable of holding the fort down while I'm gone. And I'm glad that they're able to do that. We've got a new person here, Jay Barber. I believe it's how you say that last name, saying good morning. Jay, welcome. Hopefully, maybe you've been watching for a while, but this is the first time I'm kind of seeing this name here. Then we've got Mark Olson saying, have fun on your vacation. Well, thank you very much. And so is Jay. Jay is saying that's the perfect vacation. It is. One of the things for me is I don't like going where the crowds go. I'm not a big, people talk about like Vegas, for example. It's too commercialized. I like going out where there aren't a lot of people, where it's nice and quiet. And so, there are going to be a few spots I think we're going to end up going where it probably will be crowded. We're going to Chichén Itzá, for example, one of the 7 wonders of the world. It'll probably be crowded when we're out there. That's just kind of the bottom line. It's kind of like I love Yosemite. I love it. It's one of my favorite spots on the planet Earth. But I hate it because there's so many people. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy. So I wish I was I lived back in the 50s and 60s when you could go to Yosemite and it wasn't quite as busy, right? But there you go. All right, so enough of that. But just a quick programming, for those of you that are watching and kind of, watch Weather NorCal and Coffee with Krueger every morning. I will not be on tomorrow morning all the way through next Thursday. So this is the last Krueger, Coffee with Krueger of this week. Then the next Coffee with Krueger will be next Friday. That's how long I'm going to be gone. We're actually flying back in Wednesday of next week, but we're getting to the Sacramento airport at 10 o'clock at night. I'll get home, if I'm lucky, around midnight. So I got to get some sleep. So Kelly and Chase will be, Kelly or Chase, whichever one will fill into that day, will be filling in for me next Thursday, and then I'll be back on Friday with pictures. And by the way, if you don't follow me on social media, do it, because I'm going to be sharing pictures. I'm still going to be doing a Coffee with Krueger every morning. I'll record it. I'll have my coffee, and my wife and I are going to share with you what we plan on doing for that day. Hopefully I'll have a cup of coffee with us, maybe sometimes, maybe not, but still doing an unofficial Coffee with Krueger without the forecast, but just kind of sharing with you the trip. So we're going to be sharing the trip with you along the way with pictures and videos, and we'll be doing that on social media, and maybe eventually doing kind of a cool video to kind of wrap the whole thing up as well. So it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm just so thrilled. I'm a little nervous to step away from Weather NorCal for that long. This is my baby, right? Weather NorCal, this is my project. And thanks to you, I've seen some significant growth from the viewership over the last year or so. It took a while to kind of get it to grow, but now it's growing. So I'm a little afraid to kind of break some of that momentum, but I've got to take some time off for my sanity. I've got a buddy who's doing this. His name is Mike Witcher. He's in Knoxville, Tennessee. He's been doing this. He launched about maybe 6 months after I did. He works weekends. He works 7 days a week. He's always on the clock. And I'm like, dude, you got to get a weekend person. You got to get yourself some time off. And he spends time with his family. He does things, but he's also still got to, keep doing his updates. So there you go. So this is your last broadcast of this year. That is correct, Linda. This will be my last one. Ooh, that's a good, Jay is saying, ooh, that's a good flight. Sac Airport can be rough. I like airports back east. The video would be neat to see on video. Yeah, it would be. And yes, Jay, I I love travel. My wife and I both love travel, but I absolutely despise airports. I don't like it. I don't like getting in airplanes. The thing is, I'm too cheap to get business class or first class because it's ridiculously expensive. I think I was just checking for fun flights to Europe. For the economy flight, it was like a little over $1,000. For the same ticket, if I wanted to fly first class, it's $5,000 more to fly first class. I'm sorry, but that's a problem. That's ridiculous. To be that exclusive for people that have that kind of money, again, I'm being, whatever, I'm going on a high horse here, but that's just ridiculous. So people can enjoy luxury and plenty of leg room, people who are 6 feet taller more because they have lots of money. But because I don't have lots of money, I've got to be cramped in like a sardine for 6, 7, 8 hours. Something wrong with the system, folks. Something wrong. That's all I got to say. I mean, and then to top it all off, this way it's always been, we all know this. If you're flying economy, they load first, then you walk through first class and you're looking at all of them, enjoying their beverages and their drinks and the right? All right. I'm going off, I know. I'm grateful that I get to go on a trip with my wife. This is actually our anniversary trip. 8 years we've been married. This is our 8-year anniversary trip, so we're very excited about that. And we are going to be flying to tomorrow morning. We're leaving, actually. Like I said, I'm not doing Coffee with Krueger tomorrow morning, but I will be doing the 6 o'clock in the morning update tomorrow morning. So that's the recorded version. All right, there we go. Yeah, Jay saying, first class nowadays, you really don't get much for it. You're probably right. I mean, you're paying $5,000 more. Okay, you get extra room. That to me is huge though, because I'm so tall. It's so uncomfortable for me flying with no leg room. What can we expect? Rain to become heavy again. We are finally going to receive a good break from the rain. We are. But Jay, watch. In fact, I'm about to go into the deeper dive now. We're going to go into when we expect most of the rain. Most of the rain will be Wednesday and Friday. But again, we'll get into that here in the works. In fact, let's get you right into it. We have got, of course, as you know, Coffee with Krueger would not be possible. Weather NorCal would not be possible without our sponsors. So I want to thank Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, so let's get you right to the forecast now. We're going to take a look at the current temperatures out there right now. It's a little chilly for some of us. Not too bad, though. We're looking at about 35 degrees for Redding, 40 degrees in Red Bluff, 39 degrees for Chico. Cold, though, up in the Eastern Mountains. I mean, you're, low to mid-20s there. 25 for Mount Shasta, 26 Wairika. Crescent City, 43, pretty mild there. And there you can see Eureka, about 38 degrees. All right, so here's a look at your weather headlines. So it's a dry and mild start to the week. I do expect a drier pattern, but not completely dry this week. So what I mean by that is last week, if we were to compare this week to last week, it's the amount of rainfall that we're going to get is nowhere near what we saw last week. Not as many atmospheric rivers. Atmospheric rivers this week won't be as strong either, so it just won't bring as much rain. Now the next chance for showers will be Wednesday. I think the heaviest during all of these events will be on the coast and some of the mountain locations, but the valley just won't get much. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we look at the forecast here. But a better chance really across the board, I think the biggest event this week will be Friday. So here you can see some of the clouds will be moving in, especially over the next 24, 48 hours. This right here, this activity, all of this is moving in by the middle and latter part of this week. So let's take a look at the moisture content, and this helps to give us an idea where the atmospheric rivers are. Okay, so again, there's the column, right? So this is, by definition, an atmospheric river. But again, the key is, right? And for those of you that are new to this, atmospheric river is one of those terms that a lot of people hate. Why? Because it's been overly used and used inappropriately. I use it as a tool to show this is a source of moisture that will bring us rain. Okay, but by definition, it is an atmospheric river. All right, so there's Wednesday. But look at Thursday. Now, it looks weaker, right? It doesn't look like it's a much narrower band of moisture, but we have a stronger area of low pressure. That stronger air is going to help to squeeze out more of the moisture. because there's plenty of moisture in there. So we'll be looking at the heavier rainfall, I think, out of this. And the winds will probably be a bit stronger with that area of low pressure as well. But then as we go into the weekend, that moves out. There's still going to be some leftover moisture Saturday. You can see some kind of moisture coming in, not an atmospheric river, but moisture that's going to be heading kind of along the coast. That'll continue to bring us a chance for showers. But what we see over the weekend is going to be very insignificant. So remember I was talking about the atmospheric rivers and how it's been overly used. There are what a lot of people and what a lot of meteorologists don't communicate to you and what a lot of news organizations don't communicate to you is it goes a lot deeper than just talking about atmospheric rivers. There are 5 categories of atmospheric rivers as far as the overall impact and strength. AR1 being the weakest, AR5 being the strongest. Look where we are. We're basically in AR1. Now, to give you an idea, so you can see here, here's Wednesday, right? But see how it's a little bit higher spike on Friday? That's why I do expect to see more rain out of it. But again, talking about these different categories, AR1, the amount of rainfall that we typically see is just beneficial. There's no issues, there's no flooding or anything of that nature, okay? You get into AR2, you get a little bit of hazards in there. Possible flooding, mudslides, debris flows, gusty winds. You have a bigger chance of seeing hazards when you get into 3, okay? But it's still mostly beneficial rainfall. But then once you get into AR4 and AR5, that's when it's mostly hazardous and primarily hazardous and less in the way of beneficial rain. Okay, so we're going to be here mainly this week. Last week, we were in AR2 to even in upwards of AR3. And that's why we did see the flooding and the works in parts of last week, and not to mention this past weekend. So just kind of give you an idea. All right, I want to help put some perspective into using the term atmospheric river because it's not always doom and gloom. It's just a source of moisture is essentially what it is. Pineapple Express, Coconut Connection, whatever you want to call it. All right, so here's a look at Futurecast. 5 p.m. today, you're dry. Okay, then we go into Tuesday, we're dry. But look at Tuesday morning. We have clear skies, but then through the day on Tuesday, we're going to see high and mid-level clouds begin to move in. Still dry through the day on Tuesday, even for the coast. But if you look right here, that's the next batch of rain that's going to be coming in. So here we are. This is Wednesday at 8 a.m. The rain beginning to move in for the coast, Trinity County, even into Siskiyou County, but still dry Wednesday morning for the valley eastward. Then we go through the day on Wednesday, there are the showers kicking in. Now, this model is actually much more aggressive than the long range, such as the European and the GFS. The European GFS is keeping it dry in the valley. So we'll see. I mean, this is not going to be a lot. You can also see the snow, 3,500, 4,500 feet. This could create some travel delays for some of the higher elevations. And then the chances continue through Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. So the amount of rainfall that we see, as expected, most of it's going to be to the north and west, northern Humboldt, Del Norte County, western Siskiyou. Look at the valley. So you saw that rain pushing through on Wednesday, but you see how insignificant it is. It's less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall, and really not seeing much off to the north and east either. Now we'll look at the snowfall totals. Again, snow level starting off around 3,500 feet. Overdoing it for Dunsmuir. It's mainly going to be in the form of rain. I think we can see a mix out towards Mount Shasta City, maybe a light dusting in Alturas for Wednesday. But otherwise, you can see a lot of light blues here. That's a trace to maybe upwards of 2 inches of snow as you start getting above 4,000 or 5,000 feet. This darker blue, that's in the Trinity Alps and the Marble Mountains and even the Warner Mountains. That's 4 to 8 inches of snow. So again, nothing significant coming out of this first batch of moisture. But check this out. Again, we saw through Wednesday, right? So there's Wednesday system pushing through. You can see it's not very significant. Then we go into your Thursday. And look at Thursday. Look where most of it is. Siskiyou, Del Norte, Humboldt, Trinity County, maybe a chance for showers. Insignificant. Not a big deal. Dry for the rest of us. Then Friday, remember I was talking about, it's a very narrow band of moisture. That's what we're looking at here, but a stronger, deeper trough of low pressure. The deeper that trough, the more closed out and the stronger that area of low pressure, right? So that is going to allow us to see more rain coming out of this system as it kind of takes that available moisture and squeezes it out. Now, this could also lead to some gusty winds as we go into Friday too. Not as strong as we saw last week, but still some gusty winds are a very good possibility. Then as we go through the weekend, still a little unsettled, and especially for the coast and some of the mountain locations, but the valley should remain dry for Saturday, Sunday. So anything we do see in the form of rain over the weekend, insignificant. It's not going to be a big deal. And then going into next week looks fairly dry. So let's take a look at the next 7 days, today through the end of this upcoming weekend. So where we're seeing the most of the rain, surprise, surprise, the North Coast, and especially in Del Norte County. We can see upwards of 3, maybe 4 inches of rain. Those lighter shades of orange, now you're getting into 4 inches of rain or so, right? So about 1.75 inches to 3 inches plus off towards the North Coast, including some of the inland areas. Then you can see out towards Siskiyou, Trinity County, upwards of 1 inch to maybe a little bit more than that. Places like Etna, for example, but Mount Shasta about 1 inch, about 1 inch in Hayfork, maybe 1 inch, near 1 inch in Weaverville. But look at the valley. I think most of the rain in the valley will be the north end of the valley around Redding, maybe 1/4 inch. And maybe less, maybe about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall to the south of that. And then, of course, off to the east, you're not seeing much there either. Now, keep in mind, again, these totals that you're seeing here, the next 7 days. So the potential for flooding is going to be very minimal. If at all, if we see anything at all, at least any rises in the creeks and streams and rivers, especially for the North Coast, that would be on Friday, because that's when I expect some of the heaviest rainfall to come down. But when we look at the long range, look at this. We're in the drier than normal category. Now again, keep in mind, that doesn't always mean it's going to be 100% dry. It's just saying drier than normal. So you take the amount of rainfall that we normally see, we could see a little bit less than that, is what we're essentially seeing here. And then of course, better chances of seeing wetter than normal. And again, that doesn't always mean it's going to be 100% dry, as I mentioned. Smallest chance of seeing below normal rainfall, biggest chance of seeing below normal rainfall. That's essentially what you're seeing there. Temperature-wise, same situation here, just a better chance of seeing that above normal temperatures. And for the most part, that should keep those snow levels fairly high. Look at these lake levels. I mean, the amount of rainfall that we saw over the last week and a half or so. This is just looking at the last 24 hours. Shasta Lake, look at that, 4.63 feet. Over 4.5 feet of a rise in the lake level there in the last 24 hours. Over 2 feet for Trinity Lake. Lake Oroville, look at that, almost 5 feet in the last 24 hours. So again, we've just seen numbers this big for the last week or so. They're still going to rise. We'll probably start to see these numbers begin to diminish here over the next couple of days because there's going to be less rainfall. But still, the lakes are looking healthy. And we are well above normal when it comes to the entire season and the year too. Ski report, looks like we did see some new snow up at Mount Shasta Ski Park, 64 inches out at the summit, 100% open. Looks like you're in pretty good shape here for the next couple of days. Now, we don't expect any new snow through Tuesday. As you can see, 0, right? That's because we don't expect any rain or snow in the next few days. But by the time we get into Wednesday, yeah, maybe 2 inches or so out at the base of the ski park, maybe close to 6 inches out towards the summit of the ski park, but not a ton of snow, but some new snow nonetheless. By the way, it's going to be a little breezy out there today, I think, for parts of the valley here coming out of the north. 15, 20, 25 miles per hour at times. But then you can see as we go into tonight and tomorrow, those winds will die down. Looks like about 5 to 10 miles per hour. In fact, really across the board over Northern California. And then you can see as we go into New Year's Day, Wednesday, there you have it, 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts out along the coast, but not as bad elsewhere. Although it looks like central Siskiyou County, a little gusty there. There's a look at your wave heights, and you can see as we go through this afternoon, they continue to drop going into your Tuesday. No more small craft advisories, no more gale warnings, anything of that nature. We're just looking at winds fairly calm out of the northeast at 5 to 10 knots, with your waves from the west at 8 feet in about 13 seconds. There's your high and low tide today, and as I mentioned, no advisories. All right, so let's take a look at today, starting off with Trinity County. So, bottom line is this, mostly in the mountains and the coast. Once we see the chance for showers kick in on Wednesday, we continue with off and on showers for the rest of the week and through the weekend. Snow levels are going to be averaging anywhere between 3,500 and over 5,000 feet, just depending on where you are and depending on the day too. I think the lowest will be Wednesday, and then averaging between 4,000 and 5,000 feet for Trinity County for Thursday through the weekend. And by the way, keep in mind, the weekend showers as I mentioned earlier, very insignificant, nothing to be concerned about. We take out to the north coast, 47 degrees, and that's across the board, even for the coast. Temperatures upper 40s along Highway 101. There you can see 49 for Honeydew and 53 in Shelter Cove. 54 out in Ferndale, 53 in Fortuna, and 50 degrees in Rio Dell. 53 degrees out in Blue Lake, 54 degrees for Trinidad. And again, this looks pretty bad, right? Showers every day, overcast. No, it's not going to be a ton of rainfall. Again, where we see most of that rain is up north, Del Norte County, northern Humboldt County, maybe extreme western Siskiyou County. But overall, what we see this week is not going to come anywhere near what we saw last week. 45 degrees for Horace Creek, 42 degrees in Happy Camp along I-5. You're looking at temperatures right around 40. We take out to Scott Valley, 36 for Greenview, 38 degrees in Callahan, as well as Fort Jones. Let's take you out to Siskiyou County, where you can see 36 degrees in Weed, 41 for McLeod, and 36 in Tule Lake. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, 37 degrees for Newell, 36 in Altur. So I think we could see a break on Thursday, and then maybe some more showers. There's a better chance coming in on Friday, and insignificant amounts of rain and snow over the weekend. Eastern Mountains, you're dry today, tomorrow, maybe some showers Wednesday, maybe dry on Thursday, and then better chances for rain and snow Friday, and then dry over the chances for showers over the weekend. Lake Amador, Lassen Park. Ooh, Lassen Park is looking pretty cold. Upper 30s, low 40s out along the perimeter of the lake there. You can see Mineral about 42 degrees. Paradise 51, 34 in Janesville, and Susanville about 38 degrees. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperatures will be in the low to mid 50s for your daytime highs. 54 degrees for Red Bluff, 54 in Los Molinos, and Willows about 55 degrees. Let's take you up north. 55 degrees for Redding, 51 in Whiskeytown, 50 in Lakehead, and Cottonwood about 54 degrees. So there's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Dry today, dry tomorrow, and we're ringing in the new year with some wet weather. Now, it's not going to be a ton. It's going to be overcast, some scattered showers, most likely less than a tenth of an inch of rainfall for everybody. Dry on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies. Better chance for measurable rainfall come Friday, and then over the weekend, just the mostly cloudy skies, but most likely you're looking at dry conditions. And it may warm up a little bit by Saturday and Sunday. So there you go. That's a look at your forecast. And this is the last Coffee with Krueger of this week. And I won't be back with another Coffee with Krueger until next week, Friday. Now, if I feel up for it, if I'm not super tired, I may do a Coffee with Krueger on next Thursday, but I'm probably going to be tired after a day of travel and getting home late and the works. So don't count on it. So again, no Coffee with Krueger tomorrow through Friday. No Coffee with Krueger next Monday through Thursday. I'm getting smiles just thinking about it because I don't have to do it, right? But listen, I love doing it. I love doing this for you, but I need the break. And I'm really excited about getting that nice little break. Here's the thing. I love forecasting the weather. So I've been doing it for over 25 years, especially in this area. That's where most of my career has been, here in Northern California. But there are times when I don't want to look at a forecast model. I don't want to think about if it's raining or if it's snowing or what have you. I just want to live my life. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the next week and a half or so. So there you go. Kristen saying happy anniversary. Well, thank you. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. Let's check in with some of you here this morning, see how you're doing here. Oh, look. Oh. Oh. There we go. Yeah, so she put that little heart icon there. That's kind of neat what this program does. It put that in there. She put this little thing in there. Happy anniversary. Well, thank you. Jay is saying good explanations for the rain. Thanks on that. You bet, Jay. Glad to do it. And of course, we've got Happy New Year, everyone. Be safe. See you next Friday. Yes, we'll see you, Chappie. And then, let's see here. We've got followed you with weather since I was a kid. Oh, cool. Excellent. Let's see if the big thumbs up comes up. No, it's just in the little thing here. So that's kind of fun. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us, folks. Let's leave you with a couple of cameras before we take off here and wrap up today's show. I want to thank you all so much for watching this morning. Again, keep in mind, even though I'm going to be gone, I've got people doing the weather for me. I still want Weather NorCal, and Weather NorCal will always be a source of information you can always come to for the latest weather information. And even though I will be gone, I've got 2 people that'll be filling in for me starting tomorrow through next Thursday. and they will give you the latest forecast at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. As I mentioned, there will not be Coffee with Krueger. I also do, as many of you may watch, the neighborhood forecasts. Those will not be available either until next Friday. And of course, Coffee with Krueger will not be available as well. But I'll be sharing photos, videos, the works of our trip. I'm looking forward to that and sharing that with you. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you. Well, of course, I'm going to be doing the updates at noon, 6 p.m. And again, I'll have an update for you tomorrow morning before I will be gone. You'll still see me though, in a different location though. Have a great day, and until next time, have a Happy New Year.
Thank you.